foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I'ma pesos. Hit your sus, I'ma replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet points to God.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings.
We got this.
Set, 280.
Mike 54.
Alert. Big 20.
Kill.
Hey, high 7.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Stafford now to throw. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. Touchdown, Detroit! T.J. Hawkinson, 49 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go now. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darren Lee coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Double right. 50-50. And middle. SOS.
On 2nd down, Johnson. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Set. 260. 50 seconds. Light. Watch the ship on the heart. Remove. Watch the ship. Hurry. Check the backer.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is caught by Watkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Switch. Check 3.
On 2nd down, Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You know, you get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and 5.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check and 2. Crunch time, defense.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Love. And that's knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Monday. You got that right there. Check. Check out.
On first down at Stanford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Middle. Check four. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Zebra.
Twins. Watch twins.
7.
Check 49. Slam.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On first down, Stafford here. He's got Watkins on the out route. Touchdown, Detroit. Sammy Watkins, 43 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Going deep for Diggs. He's got a man complete. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 48 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they're going to go with a jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
Let's put that team on the bus.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Looking to throw. Love. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20. 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 2nd and 13. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Check 26, check 26. Check. Watch out. Kill.
Stay 50.
Watch safety creep.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3 and out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
50 seconds.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Off the play fake. Love. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
50-50. 22. 32. Switch. Hey, watch it.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen taking it in. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Stafford on first down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Show him Omaha, ready, move. Easy, alert. Go.
Here's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Switch gears.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Here we go. Switch the outlaw. Watch the run.
The final shot before break. Love. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go. Call me crouch. I got you, punk.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double time. We got 3.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
4 down.
Operating from the gun, Love. And he's able to find Diggs. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Okay, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check 9.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Cook. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
At the 11-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Let's bring it.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
Tough 1st half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
You think you gonna get this? Check 3.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Lions' 11-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And Diggs has it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off with great anticipation. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Zebra. Hey, Alpha.
Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Throwing is Stafford. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 32.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said is they went back.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Go.
Drill right, 22.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
22. Hey, 70. 53. Ready.
From the 27, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Stafford now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's first and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check the backer. Check the back.
Drill right, 22.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Middle.
He's cracked.
Hey, 50. Hurry. Get on.
Here's Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Going deep for Diggs. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Love. And it is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, 22.
Check 3, check 3. Mike's 54.
6'6", bullet high.
Got one, I got
11.
Hey, check 24.
Big 20.
Kill.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Chopper! Omaha, ready to move! Hurry up, get
To try again after the sack. Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Ready! Hey, watch the line! Kill! 59! Hey, 5-0!
Check 4. He's coming.
Monday! Buzz!
Stafford on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Greedy Williams picks it off. 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Set!
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And the Lions first down.
Sponge. No. Kill. No. Omaha, ready, move. White. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard victory.
Alert!
Brings up 2nd and 3. At the Vikings' 47-yard line.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot
22 jet bomber.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 37. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check. Watch out. Kill. Back. Watch safety.
50.
Safety's creeping.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Tighten up. Big ass.
And middle. Hey, 54.
Switch.
Omaha, ready, move.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Stafford, slight, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
And now here is another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Prater for the extra point, and that will get him one closer. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Back to the air on 2nd down. Love. That'll be complete to Cook. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Off play action. Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Stay 50, stay 50. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Kill.
Zebra.
Why?
Like 7.
Shift. Watch the shift. Check 37.
They go to Johnson again. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
250.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. You don't hold this.